And a good crowd on hand at Blackbaud Stadium. And this is Ken Tomash along with Keith Tabatsnik. You see Mark Cleland, our referee there. And this is the first time to Blackbaud Stadium for Keith and myself. And just one word, Coach, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely awesome.
That's
2 words, but I'm going with that.
We're underway, and it's Charlotte attacking first. Mark Steffens told us they're going to come out and try to win this game. He said he told his players, if you play for a draw tonight, you will lose, even though the draw will get them into the playoffs. And his opposite number, Mike Anheuser, well, he has no choice but to go forward and try to win this game. A draw will not be good enough for the guys in yellow and black.
Ken, and you're right, and Mark Steffens is exactly right. You got to go out and play your normal game, which is trying to win. And this is a team, Charlotte, that can keep the ball moving well, can get into the attack, and they have to do that. You can't sit back, especially playing away, and hope that you can last 90 minutes. Having said it, gets to the end towards the end of the game, obviously you'd be a lot more conservative.
This portion of the match brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Scores, stats, highlights, and more. USLsoccer.com, the official website of United Soccer Leagues. Here's Mike Zayer chipping one into the box. First chance of the evening for Charleston, and it goes lacking. Front men, Zach Prince and Dane Kelly.
But see, this is Mike Zayer, who's moved into the left midfield to try to get a little bit more attacking into the game, and cuts into his right foot to play that ball in almost on the end of Prince. And it's one of the things that Mike Anheuser has done is tried to put some players in positions where they can be better in attacking, even though it's at the same system. He hasn't moved anyone out of the back or anything, and gone to 3 in the back. However, he will do that if they have to towards the end.
Here's Dane Kelly, the swift Jamaican, carrying the ball to the far side of the box. He's met there. A foul called. Here in the second minute, there's Greg Dalby. Great story, a former MLSer. And how he came to Charlotte, Mark Steffens says, is literally a miracle through a connection through the chaplain of the Colorado Rapids. Steve Shack knew him, and goalkeeper coach David Kramer. And when Greg Dalby just felt called to something different in life, he wound up with the Charlotte Eagles, and they're thrilled to have him because he's a terrific guiding force at the back for the guys in white.
Those chaplains know how to create miracles, don't they?
There you go.
Dalby was a miracle for Bobby Clark for 4 years at Notre Dame, an All-American, and one of the best players in the Big East, one of our youth international players as well, and had some time in the MLS also.
Here's Darren Toby playing this ball wide, and Shane Roberts will play it into space and a little too long. Here at Blackbaud Stadium, this pitch will play 120 yards long by 72 yards wide, so a lot of space to cover tonight, and it is very warm. Temperature in the mid-80s at kickoff, but high humidity. We did have a burst of thunderstorms this afternoon. That was actually a little bit scary, but it's cleared out. It's a cloudy night, but this game is going to be played at a high pace for 90 minutes because both of these teams want to get that 4th and final playoff spot in the American Division. Here's Prince getting his head to this one. Dane Kelly heads it up in the air. It'll drop here to Nicky Patterson. Patterson, the Iron Man, played every game, the only member of the battery to do that. And it will ride out on the far side. Alex Kasky wins the throw. Here's Prince, dispossessed. Tackle there, nicely done. First shot goes off Josh Reif right at the top of the box. We play on. Charleston players wanted a handball, they wouldn't get it. Now Sean Flatley, told you he's in there because John Wilson picked up a red card in their last game of their 2-game road trip down to Orlando, which they lost both. And the coincidence here is that the winner of this match will face Orlando in the first round of the playoffs. So it could be Charleston going back there again.
Well, interestingly, not only Wilson get an ejection in that game, there were 6 cautions to Charleston players in that game, and I think 3 to Orlando as well.
Here's Josh Reif, the Eagles captain. Went a little bit too far for Tovey up front. Actually, they were looking for Bundu up front. We'll try from the left side. Juan Guzman. Now here's Bundu. And that one put just too far on the far side for Mark Bloom, who was coming up from that left-hand side. 31st meeting all time between these two clubs in a rivalry that goes back 19 years. And the Battery has had the better of play, and they've Got a chance here. It's a shot from the top of the box, and the Battery will score. Well, Zach Prince didn't make the most of his first attempt, but he buried that one from the 18, and in the 5th minute, the Battery's up 1-0.
Well, Ken, you just said it, that Charleston had the better of the beginning. Have a look at this. Dane Kelly, a look-away pass, and Zach Prince played locally at the College of Charleston. He did that there, and he did it again today, and Charleston gets that early goal, and they only scored 9 goals, now 10 here at home, and certainly the one that, now everything's up for grabs. All of a sudden it's Charlotte that has to have a goal now to be able to advance.
That's Zach Prince's first goal of the year, and it is a huge one coming in the 5th minute. I told you that the Battery has had trouble scoring. In fact, they had scored just 20 goals in their first 23 games, now 21 goals on the season. Only Dayton now has scored fewer goals, but they're 3rd in the league in goals against. So Andrew Dykstra has to be breathing a little bit easier at the back now that he's got that 1-goal cushion to deal with. Started to say that this series, which goes all the way back to 1993, has been decidedly in Charleston's favor. They've won 21 of the 30 previous matches with 4 draws. None of that matters tonight, though, because these teams need a victory, and here's maybe oh my goodness, what a goal! Mike Zayer with a left-footed blast to the upper 90.
You just said why Mike Zayer was put up into the left midfield for the attack, and he's just shown why. Look at this strike. This is one of the goals of the year for Mike Zayer. And also his first goal of the year, the nice flick on for that, and that is the way you strike a volley. Look at that, head down, shoulders forward, nice and clean. And you see that, his first goal of the year to go along 1 minute after Zach Prince had his first goal of the year. And by the way, on Zach Prince, it was Dane Kelly's first assist of the year.
Wiltsey will get the helper on that one, and Mike Zayer can breathe a little bit easier now. That is now probably the most famous piece of video that he appears in, because until that moment, it was probably that JoJo video from several years ago that he was in that his teammates haven't let him live down since. Now it's that goal.
They won't let him live it down, but they will still let him watch this goal as well.
He can do whatever he wants now. His team's up 2-0 at home, less than 8 minutes into the match, and now Charleston's seriously in the driver's seat. There is the league leader in assists, Jorge Herrera, who will take the first corner kick of the night from the near side flag. First set piece chance for the Charlotte Eagles, who find themselves down 2-0. They'll try to get the second ball to be dangerous here. It's kind of duffed in front and cleared away from the 6.
They really had a clear shot at that as well, coming in on the ball that was just left for it, and needs to do a lot better, put that in and try to change this momentum around for Charlotte. But what a dream start this is for Charleston. Any game plan that Charlotte Eagles had coming in, it changes now, doesn't it?
They knew they were, to be fair, they don't need 3 goals, but they don't want to give up 3. I mean, they need 2 goals because a draw gets them through. So if you may have thought about, yeah, we want to win this game going in, but when you go down 2-0 in the first 8 minutes, you'll take what you can get.
Absolutely, and the big thing right now is that, they obviously have come out flat, a second game in a row that they've come out flat. Same thing against Harrisburg City, the other day, where they could have clinched it on Wednesday and they lost 1-0. But flat again right now, and this time they've been punished for it. They need to have patience, and by the way, patience has probably been the big key to their success after the 0-4-1 start.
Well, patience is a virtue, and this is a virtuous club, so we'll see how they weather the remainder of this first half. We're just 9 minutes in and change, and Charleston, on the strength of goals by Zach Prince and Mike Zayer, lead at 2-0. Nothing doing there as Saliu Bundu tried to fight through Sean Flatley. Now here come the Eagles moving forward again. Shane Roberts will go back here to Darren Toby, who's drifted backwards a little bit. Here's Herrera. Herrera will switch it to the left-hand side. Sent into the box, headed towards the goal, and just wide of Andrew Dykstra's goal. Let's take a look at this Zaire piece again.
Yeah, this is worth looking at. We'll be seeing this a few times, but again, look at the ball that's flicked over and right in there. It's just come on. And again, you just got to look at that technically. You want to teach your players how to volley a ball. That is the way to do it. I mean, you see it just a head so still looking at it, letting the ball drop down, and not a chance for goalkeeper Eric Reed, who is one of the top goalkeepers in USL Pro.
Here's Andrew Dykstra now. He's returned from a broken foot earlier in the season to post 4 shutouts in his 10 matches. And Sterling goals against average of .73 coming in tonight. Some would say he has to because guys in front of him haven't scored many goals, but they've got 2 already. And that's the most they've scored in a game this year. They've got plenty of time tonight.
They've only scored 9 at home up until right now.
There's a giveaway. Zaire stays on the ball. And he takes a hip check from Herrera that puts him into touch and the ball. Throw into the Eagles. Herrera's got a little bit of bite in his game.
No, he does. He's a quality player. Has a fair bit of experience playing down, playing at a lot of high-level places and bringing that to the table here.
Well, Mark Cleland is letting these 2 teams play here in the opening 12 minutes. Here's Dane Kelly, who scored the first goal. Greg Dalby's trying to push him towards the touchline. He does, but the Battery wins a throw.
That second goal for Charleston, a beautiful flick on came from Nicky Patterson in the center midfield. That was his 4th assist of the year, to go along with 6 goals. The UNLV standout from Scotland.
Now it's the Battery working it through the midfield. Here's Prince. Prince actually had the first goal. It was Kelly who had the assist on the first goal. Here's Zaire after a bit of magic 5 minutes ago.
I think one of the things about Zaire, they're getting in behind is question has to be asked, how come he was so wide open? And clearly there was a lot of ball watching, partly by that man we're looking at here, Herrera, who when the ball was on the right side of the field, lost track of the guys running in behind. And Zaire was patient, waiting to get into that space. A lot of players get there too soon and bring the defender back.
This portion of the match brought to you by Umbro, true to soccer since 1924. For more information, visit umbro.com. First corner of the night for the Battery comes in the 13th minute. You'll see the Battery move a little bit more deliberately for the remainder of the first half. Nicky Patterson, 14th minute, curls it to the far post, bounces past and over the end line, and it'll be another corner from the other side.
Well, I've always said that, when you get to games like this, which is effectively a playoff game in itself, a knockout game, that you can throw all those statistics out the window most of the time, because once the ball starts rolling, so many different things happen, and teams always surprise you. As we see with Charleston, it had only scored 9 goals at home, and already just 13 and a half minutes into this game, up 2-0.
Now it's Mike Zaire from the far side flag. It was his left foot that made it 2-0. That left foot almost made it 3-0 there. They like to look for big lads. Sean Flatley was coming up there to try to get his head on that corner.
Sean Flatley's fairly dominant in the air. He's very good defensively, but gets on the end of things in the attack as well. The guy who went to the College of Charleston after playing at University of Maryland for 2 years.
Well, this Charleston side won the league last year. They were Organization of the Year. Mike Anheuser was Coach of the Year. They won the championship on this field, and now here they are on the last weekend of the season, just trying to get into the playoffs. But it's kind of hard when you lose 4 players who were on the first or second all-league team a year ago, including MVP and leading scorer Lamar Nagel and the co-assist leader Tom Heineman. Both those guys now playing in MLS. just showing you the quality of players that are in this league, Keith.
Well, and this is one of the things that people have talked about with Charleston is last year so many balls that got into the 18, it was like automatic goals because of those two players, and they've really struggled, this year as we've been talking about.
That one will ride just a little too far.
And guys like, Dane Kelly, who's been up top, he's a youngster, he's 20-year-old, he's got tremendous pace. He leads the league in shots, but he only has 4 goals to go with it. And, so it's like one of those dilemmas you have as a coach. Here's a guy getting in positions all the time, but he's got to become a better finisher. But again, this Charleston team, we're talking about their success. I mean, they're one of the most successful franchises in the history of USL. And certainly a lot of credit owner Tony Bacher. Has done so much for development in the Charleston area and this stadium. And, you come to Charleston and you've got to come and have a look at the stadium.
If you're a soccer fan, you have to make a pilgrimage here.
And the stadium is part of it, and the Three Lions pub and restaurant they have is just absolutely amazing. The amount of signed jerseys and things, you can spend a lot of time there for many different reasons.
Reed's goal kick is flicked on, and Dykstra will have that one go to his feet at his 6, including the surgically repaired foot we talked about earlier. He said he's still got a screw in there. I asked him how big. He held his fingers about 4 inches apart. I said, really? Wow. Yep. 50-50 ball. Greg Dalby leaps up and wins it, but it will drop here to Mike Zayer. We're in the 17th minute. Blackbaud Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina. Ken Tomash, Keith Tabasnik with you on the USL Pro Game of the Week. Here's what's at stake. Charleston, if they win, they are in the playoffs. All Charlotte needs is a draw. Right now, that's a tall order in itself. But the 4th and final playoff spot in the American Division and a chance to play at the Citrus Bowl next week to play USL Pro regular season champion Orlando City is on the line tonight. Mike Zayer took that one right in the thigh. Into Herrera. Shane Roberts heads it. Darren Toby. Now good ball movement from the Eagles, but it'll be a giveaway as Patterson gets ahead on it. Herrera comes down with it for Charlotte, and Toby will switch it to Dalby. Dalby he's got some good offensive skills going forward. This one forward to Bloom, who also has some good offensive skills. He's dispossessed there nicely by Mark Wiltsey on the far side.
Well, Dalby is what I call a very safe guy on the ball. His possession rate is tremendously high, but he has one thing that the best center backs anywhere have, is that he can open up the play with 60, 70-yard balls, and it really makes the defense have to be in just the perfect positioning or they get caught by his passes.
You saw some of the crowd here at Blackbaud Stadium. Into the box, the ball bouncing around. The Eagles are looking for a handball on Charleston. They didn't get it. There's a shot that goes just wide.
I'll tell you, that had Dykstra beat, because I don't think Dykstra saw that shot at all until it came by, and that had just been another foot inside. Let's have a look at just how close this was as the ball was laid off. Good patience in the box, and Herrera going on the shot there, not far off at all. Clearly, Dykstra would not have had a chance at that had that been on target.
Herrera, I mean, he's the league co-leader in assists, but he's also 3rd in the league in shots, so he's not afraid to have a go.
He's got 3 goals on the year for Charlotte, and this is the thing with Charlotte right now is they obviously have to believe in themselves that they can come back, and it's one of the strengths that they've had is a belief when things haven't gone well that they can still sort things out. And we saw it on TV against Richmond, where they were down 1-0 late into the game and scored 2 goals, including the game winner in injury time.
So you're saying they always have faith?
Exactly.
Patterson's free kick is headed out of there by Dalby. A high boot there that thought Cole Pepperley got away with, but I'm not sure he did. Mark Cleland, our man in the middle tonight. Just to finish the thought on the playoff scenario, the winner here will travel to Orlando, and we know that Richmond and Wilmington are going to play. We just don't know yet who's going to be the home team in that quarterfinal matchup. Of course, the Kickers, in addition to being in the playoffs, are in the semifinals of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and on August 30th, they're going to play at the Chicago Fire in the semifinals. An amazing accomplishment for the Richmond Kickers, Lee Cowlishaw and company, and just been a terrific run for them. David Bulow has become the all-time leader in the pro era for Open Cup scoring with 14 goals. So obviously everyone in USL wishes the Richmond Kickers luck in the semifinals. Just a terrific outfit and a terrific run that they've had. Here it's the Charlotte Eagles in white against the Charleston Battery in the black and gold. And Charleston's up 2-0. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes. Darren Toby now. Far side to Juan Guzman. Played to the top of the box. Bundu. There's a blast that goes off the chest of Dykstra.
I'm tell you what, that looked like one of those football games where the keeper just happened to be in the right spot because they weren't moving him. And again, I'm not sure Dykstra saw that strike until it was there. Let's have a look at that. There's again a second shot. This one right on target and comes out perfectly.
Is that Dalby?
Could not tell who was up on that to get it. Dalby, if it is, venturing up quite a bit. But I tell you what, whoever it was, just another yard one side or the other. I'm not sure Dykstra really saw that till it was through.
Dykstra, the former Chicago Fire keeper, speaking of Chicago Fire.
And I think that may have been Bloom coming up from that left back position, tucking inside.
Foul called here. Set piece chance for the Battery. Shane Roberts in a bit of disbelief. Patterson, very dangerous. This one may be a little too far out for him to try to score on it, though he has scored on 2 free kicks this season, including one against the Eagles earlier in the year. These two teams open the season against each other. They'll close it tonight, and maybe I spoke too soon. Reed had it read. That's what he does, read by name and read by nature. Mark Steffen says he reads the game very well. And that one curled right into number 24.
Yeah, and I think that was simply a ball that was tried to lay in for someone running on. It got away from him, and quite routine for Reed.
Battery 9-9-5 on the season. The Eagles 9-8-6, and a point ahead of the Battery coming in, which is why a draw would get the Eagles through to the postseason. And that's why the Battery needed the 3 points for the victory. And they're 2 goals to the good with Dane Cook running towards the goal, but Charlotte defense gets there first. Reed clears, gets back up after taking a tumble. There's Herrera playing this up to Bundu. Guzman now plays that forward. Herrera, will he have another go? No, he'll chip it off onto the left wing. Here's Bloom coming forward.
That was perfectly weighted ball by Herrera to Bloom, and Herrera's been moving all over the field. Definitely has a free range right now to try to make some things happen for Charlotte. But that ball laid in at just a perfect pace for a first-time cross in, and unfortunately Bloom could not get it away from the first defender there. But they win another corner kick, and Herrera trying to get assist number 8 if he can.
He'll play the short ball. This one's going to go back to Herrera. Edge of the box. This time he takes a blast. Dykstra. Ho-ho. Covers up the rebound.
It was a rebound goal that allowed Charlotte to win in extra time against Richmond on Fox Soccer. And this time a rebound that almost came out, and they had a Charlotte player right there. Dykstra gets on top of it quickly. It looked like Bundu or Toby was right there, both of them right around the ball.
This portion of the match brought to you by the PDL, the destination league for tomorrow's professional soccer stars. Visit pdl.uslsoccer.com for expansion opportunities. And of course, a lot of the players in this game played in the PDL. For Charlotte, just the starters, Mark Bloom, Juan Guzman, Eric Reed, and Alan Sanchez are ex-PDLers, while Alex Kasky, Mark Wiltsey, Andrew Dykstra, Sean Flatley, Nigel Marples, Mike Zaire, and Zach Prince all played in the PDL.
I would say congratulations to the Kitsap Pumas, who captured the PDL championship on Fox Soccer Live last Saturday. 1-0 in the game, and Brian Burke, the MVP, who set up a fantastic assist in the game. Just, was it 6-7 minutes in, and it held up for the rest of the game. And congratulations to Peter Fewing and the Kitsap Pumas. Again, the PDL, we've been talking about it all year. So many players that have come out to PDL and moved on into the into higher levels, and into the MLS. 60-some% of the draft picks in the Super Draft came, had played in PDL, including 8 of the first 10 picks. And next year, PDL, exciting thing, they'll be having a PDL combine right before the USL Pro Combine as well.
It's a good chance for good young talent to get noticed. Here's Josh Reif. Reif, the PDLs for those young players. Josh Reif, the veteran of the Charlotte Eagles, now in his 9th campaign. The captain, number 29, playing at the back tonight. We've seen him in the midfield. We've seen him at the back. Whatever they need done, as you see Nigel Marples here, another PDL guy.
He's moved to the back because Brady Bryant is out with illness. One of the top players for Charlotte, who scored actually the rebound, that game winner against Richmond, and I was very impressed with him in that game. And they certainly miss him, not only because of him being out of the center, but having to bring Reif back and out of the midfield.
Juan Guzman dispossessed in the midfield. Comes the battery back the other way. Now they'll switch it here to the near side. I don't know if Zaire is going to have enough real estate. He does. He's an acrobat, isn't he? No, he didn't play. Wasn't on the gymnastics team at UCLA, but he's been acrobatic tonight.
Well, he grew up in Las Vegas, so he must have seen a lot of those shows.
He can gamble. Prince plays that one to the far side. Kept in play there. Another one sent into the box. That was over the head of Patterson. Headed out by Shane Roberts for another corner kick.
Well, one of the things that Zaire actually does do quite a bit of, actually, which may have certainly helped him there, is yoga. A lot of pro soccer players and athletes, as a matter of fact, are well into yoga now as a great way for their agility and flexibility.
Here's Nicky Patterson. So driven low and hard and headed wide of the goal. Okay, Zaire's now, he's just showing off now.
No, he had a volley. He wants to get a diving header, and, have another look at this. This ball driven in really well, and Zaire doing really the only thing he can do to have a chance to score there is getting a head on. It was a good effort, and, it shows the competitiveness there. He wants goal number 3 and upset that he gets in that position without getting it on target.
Reed's goal kick across midfield. Drops back to the battery. Out Kasky. Dalby is right there. He is so steady, just so confident at the back that no panic in him at all.
To say the center backs are the spine of a team, he's the guy, he's the first one you want in there, and you can build everything else around him. A tremendous leader as well. He was, I think, captain when he was with the under 18s, under 20 national team, and captain with Notre Dame. Caused havoc to opposition in the Big East.
Better stuff here from the Eagles as they keep possession, move it around, get it into the box. It's that final third. It's so tricky. Herrera, they'll try it again. Still a loose ball. That's Captain Colin Falvey maybe gave up his body there. And the big Irishman will clear that one way out over into touch on the far side here at Blackboard Stadium.
You're watching two of the franchises in USL Pro that has more than 10 years of operating experience with these, and some of the longest standing teams in pro soccer period. It doesn't matter what level you're talking about, and the stability and core of USL Pro, testament with these teams and to the league. Strongest, most sophisticated, and most experienced North American professional league below MLS.
On and off the field, and here we're watching. We told you both of these teams turned pro in 1993. This series even predates the stadium that we're playing in. And this is the 31st meeting, and this one is one of the biggest ones. It's for the final playoff berth in 2011. The Eagles are down 2-0, though, but putting the pressure on. Shane Roberts. Dykstra out. Still not out of danger. Now, finally, it is.
The interesting thing is, Charleston's not letting any goals. I wouldn't say that Dykstra has looked, really sharp right now on things that have come in. He hasn't seen some of the balls coming in. He gave up the one rebound, and that didn't look sharp either.
Zaire with Lots of room to run. He's on an island. Zaire again. He's done it again! This time with the right foot, and it's 3-0. The Battery hadn't scored 3 in a game all season. They've got 3 in the first half hour.
And look at that, and the ball laid in, and look at Zaire just going, shaking and baking, one-on-one. He said, I scored with the left foot before. I tried with my head. I'm going to go with the right foot. Tucks it in there. He's looked over to the bench afterwards like saying, hey, what's going on? Look at me. And he's probably saying to coach, you know, you should have been playing me up here all year.
Not yet 26 years old, Mike Zaire. Spent some time in San Jose Earthquakes. Definitely ready to rumble tonight with 2 goals in the first half hour.
Dane Kelly, who slipped that ball through to Zaire to send him on the one-on-one. Whether they give Dane Kelly an assist or not, I'm not sure, but it was certainly a clever little ball. Would have been Kelly's second assist of the season.
Rife leaps up, but doesn't win that 50-50 ball. Zach Prince does.
Well, you know, we had said that Charlotte had started very slow and sluggish in their game against Harrisburg and City Islanders midweek just 2 nights ago. And, you know, Mark Steffen didn't really know why. He couldn't figure out why they'd come out so flat. And you certainly wouldn't expect it again right now, other than being, as we'll see that shot going over, other than being the second game in 3 days. And
happy birthday to Mike Anheuser. 42 today, the Fort Wayne, Indiana native and former star at Indiana University.
He is getting a tremendous present, and we'll have a look at you know, one of the gifts that he got again. As Zaire just goes down one-on-one, and you know, there's really nobody. You know, when he turned to the side there was a mistake that maybe Dalby made. He didn't close him down when he went because he was expecting him so much to go to his left foot. And the second Zaire turned to the side to his right, there was an opportunity to close him down, and you know, saw the other defender, you know, Rife standing there and kind of watching as well, needed to get in and help out because there was certainly lots of time for there to be enough defenders to get back and make it a lot more difficult. But Zaire with his first 2 goals of the year, and you know, not only is this an impressive first half, but if you know Charleston can keep things going, gives them maybe that momentum and confidence that you need to have to go down into Orlando City, who's only lost 1 game all year at home.
Ricky Patterson with the foul and the free kick chance here. That's where you have to be vigilant, and Andrew Dykstra will set a 2-man wall. Herrera whips that one in, and it's right to Dykstra at 6.
Yeah, that is really one of the lowest percentage free kicks you can take from there, where you're right in the center and just chipping it straight down the center. That ball has to get out wide first, or you know, it has to be something a little different, because it just is there's so much advantage to the defenders coming out at that ball.
Zaire tries to keep that one in, and does, but now it's back out. Marples with a throw in. Now here's Charlotte again. That one was overcooked just a little bit. Marples to clear. Shane Roberts dispossessed. Kelly lets that one ride. Nicely done by Josh Rife, because Kelly was off and running.
Would have been taken off there. That was excellent play by Rife, because Kelly would have shown his speed. And as you said, the size of this field is really a bonus for Kelly. And we saw him before. We did score a goal against Wilmington on Fox Soccer Channel. You know, it was a tighter field, and it was harder for him to get in behind because of the tightness of that field.
And Mike Anheuser said a grass surface doesn't really agree with him. Obviously, a lot of turf in USL Pro. This is one of the few grass surfaces, and it's got to be one of the best. And Kelly has not scored a goal, but he's got 2 assists, and he's going to have a go there. And Reed, that one may have taken a deflection.
And Kelly, you know, once you got by there, I'll tell you what, Charlotte defense is simply not closing space when they get into that danger area at all. And you know, the sense of urgency has to pick up because you know, no matter what the score is, you have to keep playing through everything. And you know, I mean, their biggest thing right now, they can catch a goal before the half and at least get a little bit of momentum and confidence going into the locker room at halftime, because it's a massive challenge they have, but it's certainly not something that can't be done. You got to be patient, but you also have to pick up that urgency.
This portion of the match brought to you by the W League, first and longest running national women's soccer league in North America. Learn how you can be a part of the women's game at wleague.uslsoccer.com. W League had 27 teams throughout North America this year, and they've already added teams in Central South Carolina and Jacksonville, Florida for 2012. It's the women's game, which is very, very much in the spotlight.
It certainly is.
Recently.
Congratulations to Atlanta for winning the W League championship.
So all that's left for USL in terms of its adult leagues this year is right in front of you. The USL Pro playoffs, which begin next week, and this is for the 8th and final playoff spot, the 4th in the American division. And right now, Charleston up 3-0. Charlotte just looking for a miracle. I mean, it's overplayed, but it just starts with that first one. I mean, they just need to do what teams have not been able to do this year, which is score much on the Charleston battery. We told you they'd only given up 22 goals all year. But turnovers can kill you. There's a blast, and again Dykstra gives up a rebound, and it has to be cleared by Flatley. Dykstra looks disgusted with himself.
Well, no, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you can't feel good about this. Here we have, I mean, that is hit well, but he's still moving and going, and, you know, while it's not the easiest one to catch, you want to get back into that next level, you're going to need to hold those. And, you know, he had 17 appearances for the Chicago Fire, and I know he'd like to get back in the MLS, and you got to do better on those.
That was Diego Martins with the huge shot. Corner kick here, near side flag, or is it a throw-in? I couldn't see. Anything that happens down in that corner is a bit of speculation on our part, because we just simply can't see that corner from here.
We'll have a corner kick coming now with Herrera going in.
Third one of the match for Charlotte. They've got some targets. Dalby in there at the 6. That one sent to the far post. It's headed out, though, by the battery. Here's Kelly. It's tackled away from him, but it will stay in the possession of the Charleston battery, rather. Long switch here for Patterson. Back to Zaire, who has 2 goals tonight.
Open, Javi.
Alex Kasky switches it to the right side. Mark Wiltsey getting forward. Will be a throw in for the Eagles.
And Kasky started this game on the right side, and him and Wiltsey feeling like a good combination. Playing Kasky, who plays more of a center midfield. This is his more comfortable position, but he gets forward well and you know, doesn't stop running the entire game. And you know, which is similar to Wiltsey, who can read when to go forward very well. And I think it's not a